I'm Kevin Mahoney, a certified financial planner in Washington, D.C. Let's talk today about how and when and why you might need a will. But first, let's start with a definition. A will is a legal document that expresses your interests and preferences for what happens to your possessions and your money after your death. A will is important for almost everyone if there are things that you own or you possess or you have as financial assets that you would like to make sure go to specific people in your life. You may not be at a point right now where you need to rush out and get a will. If you're pretty young, in your 20s, if you don't have kids, if you're not married, this may not be an urgent task for you. But there is one step you can take right away that will make some difference, and it's called designating beneficiaries. So let's say you have a bank account or an investment account that has money in it. When you log into that account and you go through your profile or your settings, there should be a place where you can designate the person that you would like to have that money in the event that something happens to you. This is separate from a will, but is similar in the sense that it directs the bank or whoever is managing that money to make sure that money goes to the person that you've designated. So, if nothing else, make sure that you log into your accounts and designate beneficiaries. But at some point, you may decide that you want to have legal documents drafted that express in a lot of detail what your wishes are for this property. You can do so in two different ways. The best way is by hiring an estate planning attorney. An estate planning attorney can create a very detailed set of documents that is specific to the place where you live. Every state has different laws surrounding possessions and what happens to them in the event of someone's death. So you want to make sure that your will and other legal documents reflect the laws of the place where you live. So ideally, you've saved up enough money that you're able to pay for legal services to have these documents created. But let's say you're not. Legal services are expensive after all, right? There's now an option to find an online will provider. These are companies that have often been created by attorneys to offer these services for less money. And many of them are able to tailor the documents pretty closely to specific states. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not able to offer legal advice for how good these options are, but they seem to be better than nothing because you are able to put on paper the wishes that you have for what will happen after your death. So, if nothing else, when you've decided that it's time for you to draft a will, at least start with one of these online options before you're able to move into the longer term solution of having an attorney draft your legal documents. Lastly, just keep in mind that there's no specific dollar amount or specific amount of property that signals when it's time to get a will drafted. As long as you have something that you want to make sure someone else gets, whether it's money or personal property, a will can be an appropriate thing to have saved in a file upstairs in your office or in your room so that people know what to do to make sure that your loved ones get exactly what you hope.